my name is Vanessa Rose. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Springfield, Missouri.
These memories, you can take a few, but this one's mine.
I'm really satisfied being a solo artist now. A lot of my supporters were disappointed when I left One Star Story, but I've really gotten a lot of support from kids who have come over and continued to support me as a solo artist, and I'm really encouraged about that. And I think I'm on the right track as far as being a solo artist. I don't know, anything's possible. But I think I see myself continuing to be a solo artist.
I know, you know, these goodbyes are not for good. Ooh.
Honestly, I really don't think that it matters where in the United States an artist is located. The industry has changed so much that I think that, like, MySpace is an incredible marketing tool these days. Like, so many artists have promoted themselves and made it so far just from MySpace. And I mean, it's a great first step. I mean, there's so much more to conquer after MySpace, you know? There's a whole nother market to get into, but it really doesn't matter to me. Like, I mean, I could be from Missouri, I could be from Maine, I could be from LA, but I mean, to me, it's better to be from Missouri than LA, because if you're based out of Missouri, you can tour a huge part of the country in half a day's drive. You know, it's very centrally located. So, you know, I think that it really doesn't matter where you're from. Any advice that I would give to people, you know, get your music recorded, good quality recordings. It's really important to have good quality recordings. And put it up on a MySpace, you know, go to kids' profiles and just like add kids' profiles, like all day. Like, just get your music out there, get your name out there, you know, play shows. But yeah, MySpace for an independent music artist, MySpace is an incredible marketing tool. And you know, it really doesn't matter where you're from. It really doesn't.
It's so hard to just let go.
In November, I plan on releasing a 5-song EP. I just finished recording that this week, and I'm really excited about it. It will be featuring 3 of the songs off my MySpace right now. They've been revamped. The music is going to be a little bit different. What I have on my MySpace right now is a lot of electronic pop, and the EP is going to be a little bit less electronic, a little more pop rock almost. So I'm really excited. It'll feature 3 songs off my MySpace and then 2 new ones that hopefully nobody has ever heard before, unless they've cracked into my hard drive. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I've been asked who that song is about. That song is about somebody who really inspired me to actually get into writing music. He was the lead singer of like one of my favorite bands at the time, and I met him at a music festival up in New Hampshire. And he was just really, really nice, and he really inspired me to start writing music, and I kind of had like a crush on him at the time. So I like wrote that song about him, and it was the first song I ever recorded. I got to college and recorded it with one of the students at the school that I went to, Evangel University, and put that up on my MySpace, and that's actually how everything started for me. That's how One Star Story found me. They found my music MySpace, just had that one track called A Story on there. That was recorded like almost 4 years ago now. So, but yeah, I was really inspired by this one person to get into music, and that's where everything started because of him. So he was a huge inspiration to me. Well, I grew up in the 90s. I mean, I was born in '87, but you know, I didn't start listening to music until obviously the early '90s. And I'm like a top 40 pop girl, and I listened to a lot of 90s pop growing up. I love David Gray, I love the Cranberries, I love Alanis Morissette. I'm a sucker for the Backstreet Boys. Like, I think the Backstreet Boys put out incredible music. But yeah, I'm highly influenced by like top 40 pop music.
It was the best feeling ever when you first spoke a word to me. But these past few days been like recovering from.
I'm not against record labels, but I'm totally satisfied doing everything independently. I think the times have changed a little bit, and in order to make it, you don't necessarily need a record label. I think a record label is kind of just like a big loan. If you have the right resources, I think that you can do things yourself. Like I said, I'm not against record labels. And if I were to get an offer, you know, I would, you know, if it was a good enough and a fair enough offer, you know, I think that's a possibility. I've been signed before to an independent label. As far as indie labels and major labels go, I think at this point there's probably only one indie label that I would sign with. And you know, major labels are a gamble too, so it really just depends on, you know, what the deal was, and you know, I'm totally open to it, but at the same time I'm totally satisfied being an independent artist.
I just had the best day.
I think that this new track on the EP that's coming out in late November, it's called Places, and I think I'm most proud of that one. It's a little bit different than the other 4 songs on the record. Definitely still a pop song, but I don't know, I'm interested to see what people think of it. It's a little bit more mature, I guess. My life quote probably would be, expect the worst, but hope for the best. Over the past 4 years of playing music and being through crummy booking agents, crummy everything, I won't go too far into everything, but I've, you know, played crummy shows, met crummy promoters, like, I think I've been through pretty much everything and learned that you really have to expect the worst. And, you know, I'm definitely an optimist. I do hope for the best, but it's important to know that things can not always turn out like they seem they will. Yeah, I would love it if everybody checked out my music MySpace. It's myspace.com/Vanessa Rose Music, and I have some tracks up there people can listen to. Add me as a friend, send me a message or a comment, try to reply to everything. It'd mean a lot to me if people checked out my music, and you know, if you like what you hear, maybe pick up the EP that comes out in November. It'll be available on iTunes and several other places. So yeah, thanks so much.